welcome to Wolf Farms. I'm Dawn, also known as Knittin' Wolf.
And I'm James, also known as Wolf Photo. This podcast is brought to you by Wolf Farms. You can find us on the internet at wolffarms.net. The scent of the month this month is green apple. Everything scented, and the green apple fragrance is 25% off. So swing on by, check that out. I want to thank the new and returning viewers. Thanks to the new ones for checking us out, and the returning viewers for coming back and watching us. Hope we entertain you.
Let us entertain you.
Oh no,
Gotta do the jazz hands.
The musical part 2.
So you were waiting for the jelly beans to kick in.
Oh yeah, we're all primed today, I tell you.
Yeah, I just watched Hop yesterday, and the Easter Bunny poops jelly beans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound too mouth-watering, but...
Tasty.
So
Farm happenings.
Oh, we're just jumping right in, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right. Farm happening.
We are on Ravelry as Knittin' Wolf and Wolf Photo, and we have a Ravelry group, and that is where our show notes are. So if you're watching through iTunes, that is where our show notes are. We also have a blog, knitting... Nope, wrong one. wolffarms.blogspot.com. See, I never know.
Just gotta memorize all these different things.
Yeah, we're on Blip and we're everywhere.
Well, if you found us, you found us. That's the important part. But the notes, everything that we reference here on the show notes and links and stuff, we put up in Ravelry. So, so join over there and join our group, and you find all our show notes. Now.
Farm happenings. This week, I am finally done. Knock on wood. There's no wood by me. Oh, the chair.
The chair.
That I'm done with all my dental work until January. Until the insurance kicks in again.
Yeah, major, the bridge work stuff starts.
Yeah, it's not as sore today.
Good. Yeah, that was long drawn
Although
out.
I didn't go and ram the toothbrush like I did yesterday. You get going, you know.
Make sure them teeth are clean.
Yeah.
Then you don't have all this dental work, huh?
Yeah, and right after we recorded last week, our rooster, Manda, that's named after Knit Psycho. And then what's her Knit Psycho Knits podcast. I just went blank.
Our rooster,
he died.
He passed away. He's got attacked or something by the other roosters, and we had him actually in a separate area, but for like a week or two, he just wasn't pulling through. I mean, he had a limp, and so we kind of separated him, and he had his own area and everything, but he hadn't been improving ever since that. And I don't know, we checked out his leg and everything, didn't see any visible signs of injury, but he would still limp on it. And I don't know if the heat or something combined with his...
Because it was 110 that day.
Yeah, it was really hot that day, and I don't know if that just the combination of all that, just he couldn't overcome it. But yeah, so we lost one of our roosters.
So now we're down to 4?
No, I got more than that, honey. I got 2 in the duck area.
Oh, I forget about them. 6.
Yeah, got the 2 kookamarans, which we were hoping would be female, but aren't.
Yeah. Butthead bird.
But so Craig, who is our
he's our house
rooster. We call him our house rooster because he will, if we open the door, he will try and come on in, and he comes to the back door and he calls into the house. He's our buddy. He's really friendly, but he's our last red.
New Hampshire
red.
Yeah. So
we had 4 and lost 3 of them so far, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's been all them ones.
Yeah. So we had it was kind of a sad day after we got done recording last week, but
Yeah, but you've got to play with your Tonka toys yesterday and made the lake a little bit bigger.
Yeah, the mud pond is now a mud. Well, the mud hole is now a mud pond. I actually expanded it a bit, so I went out and dug some more and went down deeper because the geese like to do somersaults in the water. So it's funny because they'll just stick their head down, you see their butt in there, and they'll just flip over and you know, they get out there and they get plain and they'll swim. They'll go completely underwater and swim around under the water, and then they'll pop up and stuff. So I thought,
scare the other one, and then they go all spazzy. And
so I thought, well, I'll make it deeper. So I went ahead and went down. It's probably about 3.5 feet deep now in the center, and it's about 3 times as big now. So I dug out some more dirt. I'm kind of doing it in phases. I need to bring over a new water line to keep the lake filled, because we have a high pressure and a low pressure water system, and the low pressure is the one that I just need to bring over to the lake to keep it full, and I don't have that water line over. I got the high pressure, but I don't really need to use that to fill up the lake. So got a little bit of work ahead of me.
So I guess the next section will be where we can dive into it.
Yeah, it's an Olympic-sized lake, so Jimmy can go do his swimming hole. So yeah, so I've got a plan to kind of expand it out even bigger, but I'm doing it in little sections to, yeah.
I think it's pretty cool that Angela, Beagle Mom Knitter, she's like, oh, I can't see the gazebo or the
I'm getting
twilight twinkle lights.
Yeah, I don't see the gazebo twinkle lights. It's some plurk yesterday, and I'm like, I do. It's on my honeydew list. It hasn't materialized yet, but it's there. I see it. So yeah, so it's coming along. Like I said, a little bit at a time. We'll expand it out. The ducks and the geese are enjoying it a lot. So, yeah, so they're happy.
Yep.
Happy ducks, happy geese.
So what else you been doing on the farm?
Oh,
that was really loud.
I say I did the lawns. Yeah. got all the weeds cleared out. We live in the desert, so there's a lot of weeds like to grow here. So I spent some time, and I've been neglecting the front yard the last couple weeks, and they've kind of sprouted up. So I had to spend some time, and actually it looks pretty good out in the front right now. So that'll last all of about a week or so, and then I'll have to keep going back. So the joys of yard work. But we did actually. I added. Well, we planned for this, and I ordered some new supplies to add some new lip balm flavors. Mm-hmm. And so we actually added 3 new lip balm flavors. So I worked that up during the week, I think. When was that?
Tuesday night, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. So we got the supplies in, and so we now have pecan pie.
And it tastes just like the pie. That's
and
like my favorite. This is so good too.
I think there's a competition between these last two. Which one's Dawn's favorite? The second one here is chocolate mint.
Just like the chocolate mint ice cream that I can't have.
And then the last one,
yes,
candy corn. So we have candy corn, pecan pie, and chocolate mint, and I don't know how to show those, but anyway, so we got 3 new scents that we put up on the store, and Dawn's really been enjoying those.
Mm-hmm. You kind of do. Okay, this side of your lips, candy corn. This is pecan pie. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so we're adding a couple things in there, and then I do want to add a candy corn candle to the shop.
And lotion.
Yeah, well,
and soap.
The boss is telling me what needs to be added. But no, I do want to do a candle, and it'll be the 3-tone, the white, orange, yellow stripes in there. So I just have to find time.
Yeah.
It's one thing I don't have a lot of on. It's like,
well, we've been busy all week. It's just been one thing after another.
Yeah, it makes the day go by quick, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I even harvested my dad's potatoes. He plants things and they don't use them. So I go, give them, So I, cleaned them all up and peeled them and blanched them and ice bathed them and put them in baggies, and we got quite a lot.
Yeah. But they were good. Made some for dinner the other night.
Yeah, I kept a whole bowl full out to make this. You bake them with butter and Parmesan cheese and a little bit of lemon juice, and what else did I stick in there? And then you bake it for like 40 minutes. Oh.
It's really good.
They're so good. Oh, yes. Oh, and garlic. You gotta have garlic.
Gotta have garlic.
Yeah, I think we put garlic in everything.
Yeah, whether it's red potatoes.
We just keep them vampires away. Although
No,
I did have my blood sucked.
We don't have the Cullens over for dinner. Let's just put it that way. So.
Darn. Or the Vampire Diaries. Damien.
Yeah. Just have to settle for me.
At least you have the dark hair and blue eyes.
Yeah, look at that. Hey. What are those? Red potatoes, and what else? They were...
Yellow,
just regular potatoes?
He was wanting me, he planted yellow potato, he plants weird things just to see if he can get them to grow out here. And these were some special weird yellow potatoes because he was wanting me to tell him if it tasted any different. Because last year he did a purple, almost a black purple potato. I think, was it called chocolate potato?
I don't know, but they weren't very big. They were about the size of my thumb. They didn't really grow.
I couldn't get past the black.
Skin.
That's the part I throw away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they were very big anyways.
No.
But I think he plants things and he likes to go out in water. But
That's
everything else is,
stops, yeah.
Everything else is, if it grows, it grows. Yeah, it's fun. We sometimes end up with some of his stuff. So.
He's got the pumpkins huge.
Yeah.
Big old honking pumpkins.
Yeah, he had grown some last year, and so that's what we had for Thanksgiving out in front of the house.
Halloween too.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's it. I'm getting my holidays. I'm getting too far ahead.
But we
here.
just harvest. We do harvest. We don't really do Halloween.
Okay.
Get with it.
Okay. You're in a mood.
Being a dud over here.
You're in a mood.
I'm in a mood.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have to do my Joe Dirt for you. Okay. Let's.
Yeah, he no longer is practicing the magic mic for me. He's doing the Joe Dirt. This is the part where Joe Dirt's at the carnival, picking up on what he thought was his sister. So if you haven't.
You gotta watch it.
He's got the dance down to a science.
Yeah, well.
Now I'm going to put you on a spot.
No, we're going to bypass that one.
You mentioned it, boy.
Yeah. Just watch the movie if you haven't. You'll know the part. So
you kind of gone to the extreme this week because they saw your interview suit attire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't. My T-shirts are for the weekend. I wear a shirt and tie during the week, believe it or not. So, but I did have an interview this week. So it's for a promotional thing. So we'll see. Yeah. Haven't heard back yet because they were probably take another couple days or a week or so to figure out what they're doing. But
see, that would look so much better doing your little dance than.
Yeah.
You'll have to let your hair grow out again.
Stop looking at. Why is your phone on the counter?
Because it's the goat lady.
Oh, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah,
so anyways, but yeah, so I had an interview. We'll see how that works. I should hopefully find out something next week. So,
because I thought if people texted me, I was going to show them up on the podcast
I see.
and call them out.
Oh, okay. Well, if they only knew what time we podcast.
Because see, I've got the timing down.
She's been party crashing other podcasters by texting them while they're
and I didn't know
recording. Yeah.
I've just got timing.
Yeah, you do.
I usually have the toilet timing, so.
So. Okay, anyways.
You can't take me anywhere.
Yeah, no.
See, you dress me up, put me out, and. See my new shirt? It's a Chihuahua. And it says, troublemaker.
Yeah, you are a troublemaker.
And part of the proceeds went to the Humane Society, so it makes it even better.
Yeah.
Plus, it looks like I got something.
Welcome
And
to
you
Wolf Farms.
said I wasn't in a chippery mood at first.
I did not say that.
You said I gotta get you in the mood. That's
No.
why you started barking at me. Bark, 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 bark,
We always
bark.
do that. Our pre-show
Yeah,
prep,
before we put the camera on.
Yeah, you don't know what we do to kind of get in the mood. So, what's in your coat?
I don't even know. Well, I worked on my, this is in my useful things bag. And, which is packed full of stuff. And I only did 4 squares this week. Yo! I did my Mad 79 blue. These are Mad Melanie's. These 3 colors were her color affection, so I put them all together. Because I'm darky that way. And this was another one right here. This is my Wolf Farm colorway. Desert Vista Dye works. And then, for 9/11, I used one of Marcia's knit grams that she had sent me because it was red, white, and blue. So, yeah, I'm not even opening this thing. It's humongous. This is a Shelley King pattern, so if you want to be insane like me and start this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Knit Psycho's the one that got me onto this.
Right now, it's diagonally, it's 7 feet across, so it's huge.
Yeah, it's a whopper of a blanket.
She's hopped up on sugar right now,
Yes,
just in case you're wondering.
So I've got spazzy hands. That's what Amy of Knitting Circles. She's got spazzy hands. And this is my preemie blanket, and my eye is watering like a sieve. It's in my bird leg rooster beard bag. Because I had to move this preemie blanket up. I heard that. Yes, I did. And I didn't get much working on this week. I think I only did like a row. You can see my dicky-doo there. Yeah, I didn't do... But I'm almost to the...
Right length?
The right length. I think it's at 26. So I need to kind of decide also if I'm going to put a border on it. Because that'll give it a whole other inch. So, yeah, I haven't had time. There was a couple days that I didn't even get to knit.
Oh, because dentist and...
Yeah, blood fasting. And...
Busy week.
But that is with, the preemie blanket is with the 3 Stitches podcast. And you can go to their group for more information. We also have information in our group where we've had prizes donated from the Silver Pumpkin, one of her little bags. Ooh, James, there's something flying. Bird leg bags donated this bag. And then a Free Spirit, which is Absolute Wonder on Etsy, donated one of her bags out of her shop. And then we're doing a gift certificate, and that is running till October 14th, and that's for the El Paso Children's Hospital. And I thought I would show you, because I haven't been doing this that much, because I usually get all choked up. This is when Jimmy was a preemie, so this is why, if you're a new viewer, that this drive is really, really important to us. And that's when Farmer Jim is in the incubator, and you can see all the contraptions hooked up to him. And when you're allowed to take them out, they're allowed to have blankets and hats. And 15 years ago when he was the baby, they didn't have that back then. So they just had these little cotton things that you could wrap around them when you were able to take it out. And this is where I'm trying to get him to take a bottle, which he never did. Never, ever, ever. So we would at least try, and they tube fed him until the day we were actually able to bring him home. Then he was a booby baby.
I think he was breastfeeding before then, wasn't he?
No, I was on too much medications.
Yeah,
I pumped from day one, but I wasn't allowed to give it to him. So.
Yeah, that was the whole hold up on bringing him home was the eating part.
Yeah.
So that was really the only.
They were actually discharging him with us going to be tube feeding him, and I'm saying, and that's when I'm like, hey, let's try nursing. And wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. He knew what to do. And he started gaining weight. Like crazy. Yeah. So when we actually did get to bring him home, you were supposed to keep them in isolation. Isolation is not the word. What's that? What's the word I'm wanting? Where you keep them away from everything because they don't really have an immune system. So you have to wait until their gestation date when he would have been actually born. So, you know, I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know either.
But also, when we brought him home, I know where I was going. We had to set an alarm for every 3 hours to feed him, no matter what. You know, he had to, still being a preemie, had to be fed every 3 hours. So, thought I would show, you know, a couple little pictures because I know a lot of people, you know, you don't see it. You know, you hear about preemies, but you don't realize how little and how vulnerable and.
You hear about it, you just never see it.
Yeah.
And that's
so this just makes it a little real.
Give you an idea of what it's all about.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yep.
What else in your coop?
What's else in my coop? I have been on a sock kick.
Yeah, you've been socking it out, huh?
I've been socking it out, and this is in my very special Loving Heart bag by Bird Leg Bags. And this is my Desert Vista Dye Works wrapped up in May. Yes, you heard that right, May. And this is what it looks like. All the pretty, I think it's 7. 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 color repeats. And this is what I've done the past couple days. From the Dicky-Doo here, all the way up, and I have my waist yarn in.
Oh, for your heel?
Yep.
You're not going to do the cut on this one? Oh, I guess the other one you'd already done.
I have one done, and that's actually, you can see the red. And I'm doing these long. Long drink of water. So, oh, I guess you want to see the front. This was supposed to be Ginger's pattern, vanilla latte sock, but I messed it up at the very beginning, so it's just a 6x2 rib. So, except for on the foot, I'm just doing a plain. So I've, excuse me, I haven't got the hiccups.
Well, this will be entertaining.
Yeah. So, I don't know where I was going with it after I hiccup. So I've done a lot for me. So, yep. And this is my blackthorn needles that I got at Vogue.
Finger pokers?
Yeah, they're very, very sharp. So I do keep them in my Slip Stitch Studio needle case thingy here.
So don't skewer your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Use your tape.
Yes. Sally from Idaho, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. The medical tape. Good boy. Medical tape. You just put a little bit on each of your finger. Man, you can just knit like crazy. That's how I got a finished object. Because usually you can only knit, because I've actually pierced my fingers many a times. And
you have indents on your fingertips. When you push.
Yep.
Pushing it.
So are we? Oh. Didn't forget you.
No, you didn't forget me. I'm working on my preemie blanket. It's the Grandma's favorite dishcloth pattern, but I'm going to extend it out till I get to 30 inches before I start coming back in. Why are you shaking your head?
They'll know when you show.
Oh, I've been knocking this thing out like... Oh, wait. No, I really haven't spent a whole lot of time just because busy. But I actually did a couple rows really quickly this morning before recording so that I could say I actually did something. But yeah, so I'm sorry. Skewering myself. Yeah, I did a little bit. I just have been it's been one of those hectic weeks with everything going on. Didn't get a lot of time to do much of anything just because we got, got stuff in the store that been keeping me busy.
Because I'm excited about that too.
Which part? It just seemed like this is our busy time of year. So this is where we're like everything's going, 100 miles an hour.
Retreats, craft fairs, other thingies.
Yeah, we've got stuff going on for other, like special order stuff, and we have stuff stocking up for our upcoming cognitive retreat. So if you guys are coming to cognitive, you can come out and say hi, see our stuff. We're getting ready for all of that. Plus, I actually have to go to Fresno in a couple weeks for a work conference, and so that's going to take time out. So I'm trying to plan around being out of town for a couple days because of that. Of course, you're coming with me.
I get to go play with dancing dog divers.
Yeah, we're going to go up and visit people in Fresno, or you will be because I'll be busy. Instead of sitting around.
I got to hitch a ride.
Yeah. So we'll be heading up there for a couple days in 2 weeks. But it's like trying to keep track of everything, plan everything out. Most of our stuff we can do pretty quickly, but the soap's really, because there's a 3-week cure time. So we really have to stay on top of where we're at. So. Busy time of year, so that, like I said, time flies, and my knitting and whatnot kind of takes a back seat to that. So I got a couple rows in before, the guilt factor. I got to show that I did something. So I got a couple rows in here, but it's coming along. I know I've got till October 14th, so I do need to put some time aside to try and get this wrapped up. Because it is pretty quick knitting, it's not a lot of thought to just...
Well, there's some people that have already done 4 or 5.
Good for you. And when you have some extra time, come on down to the farm. I got some things you can do to help us out. Just kidding, but yeah, so it's pretty, it's an easy pattern to do. It's an issue of having time to sit down and do that, so... Unless I can learn to knit with my toes and I can do stuff with my hand, Haven't figured that one out yet. I'm still trying to figure out knitting with my hands. First things first. What?
You were just on a roll.
What was it that you were wanting me to say on the...
Oh, because your hands.
Oh, yeah, because another thing is, because I'm using size, what are those?
5.
4 or 5. Yeah, I can only knit
6.
so long because holding on to that, my hand starts to go numb, So I have to do a couple rows. I have to set it down and get the circulation back in. I don't know.
It's a diabetic thing.
Could be. It's a knitting thing. Maybe I shouldn't be knitting. Maybe I'm allergic to knitting.
Knitting will be beneficial.
Maybe I'm allergic to knitting. What do you think?
Anyways, flown the coop.
See, I'm getting
You're rambling on.
I am?
It's 28 minutes.
Oh. Get going.
Flown the coop. The Sock the Vote challenge with the Single-Handed Knits podcast, Imsky Knits. I did some of her... She's given us quite a while. I have some in a bowl, but I did. You're supposed to do little hearts. The red ones are for soldiers currently serving, and the purple hearts are for those that have been sent home wounded. So there's like 2, 4, 6 here. So I've gotten some done. They're little, so it's hard to
see
show.
how many batches of laundry she's done.
Yeah, but I get distracted in there.
Yeah.
So then my other finished object, this is for, sorry Kimberly, couldn't think of Sock Bunny. Sock Bunny's Knit and Fit podcast is doing a knit along for August, September, October for hats and scarves for men in Pinellas Hope. And so I got my hook out and crocheted up a hat and gray and black. Because all the men in my family love this hat.
Yeah.
So, yep. So I want to do one more for her, and then I need to do some more hats for other
Those
charities.
are for the homeless?
This is for the homeless.
Okay.
And I've actually done a lot of these for our homeless. What's that called here? Not amazing.
You're talking about, so you're going to make me...
My dad
Your dad helps out...
at the food every Friday.
It'll come to me.
Oh, God, it's going to drive me nuts.
Yeah, it's right over there, down the street.
Baker is the man's name. Then I only got one puff done, and this was done on 9/11 too, with the red, white, and blue yarn that, Marcia sent me. I love how that made the pattern. So only one little puff. And then my April afterthought socks, which was for the Limnit Crochet podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But this is now for her fat knit along. Finish all the things. My Wolf Farms colorway from Desert Vista Dye Works for James Wolf Photo Socks. They are all done with the afterthought heel. Not only is this an afterthought heel, this is the afterthought heel where I cut into my knitting. Which was so... See, then that looked like a...
Don't even...
I'm not. So, and I did Ginny's surprisingly stretchy... Look how big that is. I'd never used it before. I don't know why. Because I'm a rebel like that. I do not like how it
the top, it's...
It does... Yeah, you can see it really good. But when it's on your leg, you're not going to see it like that. Because that's, like, really good. But yeah, the first cut, I threaded my needles in, had it all ready, and I'm texting Lauren, like, this is going to make me pee. But once I did that first cut, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. I couldn't wait to get the other one done. So I did the whole cuffs on both of these and the heels to finish them up. I might have knitted some more. I don't know. But I did do these 2 at a time, which I really don't like. I don't think I will do 2 at a time anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of, I know, it gets in your way, the other one.
Yeah, they're pretty much lined up. And I'm not that picky. But I don't like messing with those 2 different... Because no matter what you do, they were both in different baggies, blah, blah, blah.
Well, those are on cables too, right?
One cable.
One cable. You like doing double points anyways on your socks, don't you?
No, I like magic looping. It doesn't bother me. Whatever.
I just know you're always doing your socks with double points.
Because it looks cooler.
Now you know.
Well, when the muggles are watching you knit, all these needles.
Muggles.
And all these needles in there just look so much more wicked.
Non-knit folk.
Non-knit folk.
He's so funny.
So that's all my finished objects. That's pretty darn good. I'm happy to get your socks. And then how did they feel?
They felt good. Nice and snug. I have to wear those for cognitive, so you guys will have to, if you're watching, come by and I'll flash you my Wolf Farm socks.
Yeah, I'll show that leg. You're so bad.
I know.
So, now for To Market.
To Market.
I ordered some Dizzy Blonde yarn from dizzyblondestudios.etsy.com, and she's local in La Mirada, California. And this is 100% merino wool superwash sock, 560 yards.
It's a lot of yardage.
That's a lot of yardage.
You can do a lot of things with that.
And this is called Farrah Griffunks, Maine. I don't know what that is. I knew it was Farrah. So look how pretty that is.
Yeah.
And you
don't normally go for the browns, which is...
I have been lately, probably because it's fall.
Fall,
Look at the cute little pumpkin
stitch
stitch marker. That's so cute. But yeah, this is... I don't know what it's super squishy too. I don't know what it's going to be. I had thought of something. And then she also put in 2 suckers. Big old honking suckers.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are, though. I'm going to have to write her and ask her what it is. What it is. She's going to be at Cognitive, so we get to meet her.
She'll be attending.
Attending, yeah. So cool. That'll be cool. And then, then I ordered from Phoenix Polish. It's an artisan nail polish, and her name is Suzette. And she's on Etsy at etsy.com/shop Phoenix Polish. Here's her card. And this is so flippin' awesome. Wait till you see this. It is called Candy Corn. And it's not, there we go. I had to get this. I have it on. I don't know if it's showing. Yeah, isn't that so cool? And yes, I got very anal with it to make sure each little...
You have to move
it was
the
covered,
specs around.
I moved them around so it was covering. My toes are done the same way. It's so awesome. I love it. I keep saying I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, she has other, you know, it's Halloween colors and candy corn.
Candy corn. This is the favorite time of year because candy corns are out.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So yeah, I had to show you. I hadn't done a nail polish thing, but super good. I mean, it went on really, really nice and
cool.
So, Squeal.
No. Back it up. I got
to market.
Oh. Yeah, I got.
But you didn't put it on the show notes.
No, I did not.
You don't count.
I was just gonna wing it. I had mentioned here I guess an episode or 2 back that I had ordered the parts to connect my digital camera to my telescope, and so those came in this week. So I got the mounting ring, which will allow me to attach it to the camera adapter, and that'll allow me to put my Canon digital SLR onto the telescope. You put that into the viewing thing and your camera sits there. And so that I've got in. Busy week, haven't had time to dig out the telescope and try it. And then the other thing that I got was a timer. This is a little electronic timer that plugs into my camera, but it allows me to take long exposures more than what the camera allows. So the camera only allows like a 30-second exposure, which in all intents and purposes is longer than most people will. This will actually allow me to do extremely long exposures, hours long if I wanted to. And it's got some other features, but so both those came in, and I just got to find some time to dig my telescope out and try and get some pictures. Then maybe I'll have another Picking on the Farm segment talking about the, showing some of that.
You were having quite a lot of fun with the timer.
Well, I've got to play with my new toys. I don't need to put it.
Beep beep beep.
It's got a lot of bells and whistles, but so I had to test it out. You got to make sure it's working when you receive it, right? Just like smelling your yarn. Right, that's what you got to check it out. I got the timer. I got to make sure it times. So, but yeah, so that was my 2 market. But that came in this week, so I'm happy now. I can start taking pictures with my telescope.
Yep.
Now,
to market.
Now, squeal like a pig.
Squeal like a pig. Squeal like a pig. There we go. Got to get it right. I have received 3 patterns this week, and No Knit Sherlock, the awesome designer Susan Cladino, just released they're just so cute. She's calling it the Boo Crew. Here's a little picture of it. These are so awesome. She gifted me this. So I don't know why she might think I like candy corn. Hoping I can show some of these without. Look at Cornelius. He's the first one that's getting made. Then there's Trixie and Treat and Dawn of the Dead. D-O-N. Not D-A-W-N, so I'm not dead. He's cool. He looks like a zombie. Dr. Who and Mr. Bojangles. I've got to make the Doctor Who. He's just so cute. And then Ozzy, which when I was showing him this, ding, 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 it finally clicked in. Ozzy Osbourne bat. That kind of dates us though, honey.
No, he's got his current show on there.
Oh, he's still current, huh? Oh, so thank you. These are so cute.
We don't watch a lot of TV, but I know he's got a show on.
We don't watch any TV.
Yeah, pretty much, not.
And then AMC Guerra, she's Angelia, and her birthday's July 8th too. She's got a really good birthday. And her Revatar is a Springer Spaniel, Zeke, because I had a Springer Spaniel years, and just sweet face. She saw this Jenna Krupar pattern, Frankie the Candy Monster, and she knows how much I like the Halloween candy. So there is that. It's really cute. He reminds me more of a Frankenstein instead of a candy cane monster. There's that one, and then there's a different one. Purple hair. Looks like a really, really simple pattern. Mm-hmm. So, yep.
Cool.
So thank you so much. And then this morning, Zena, she's Nitty Natter Zena, sent me a pattern, which I'm going to ask for the yarn for Christmas. I don't have.
Cognitive's coming up, you know.
They won't have sweater quantities.
Oh, really?
No.
We're always right next to Redfish Dye Works.
Can you imagine how much a sweater quantity would be? Woo-wee.
She rolls across from their booth.
Oh, yes, I do.
Every year we're right over there. We buddy up with them, and and they know what color she likes, so they put them out
they put
on
it
purpose.
Right. Yeah. So then I'm like, oh, put that under there. Put that under there. So Zena, and she has the Nitty Natter podcast too. She sent me a random act awesome podcaster.
A rap.
A rap.
It's her rap.
It's her rap. And so she heard me mentioning, making garments, and she's actually going to be knitting this for her mom. And it's the Vitamin D by Heidi Kermeyer. And this is so pretty. I just love this. So it's
How many yards do you need for that?
I need 1,300 of sport weight.
Sport weight.
Yeah. So I have no clue what they used squish fiber hearts, but I can just imagine how much that costs. So that is so cool. So I've got to get
figure out
man.
What yarn and what color, huh?
So that was, I didn't even have words like I told her to write back to her, because I was just like, it's so sweet, you guys. Thinking of me. So, picking on the farm.
Oh, it's my turn for picking on the farm?
Mm-hmm.
See, you got the notes all messed up.
I know I do.
And that's funny. Because, we're talking astrophotography, and then I thought, well, I'll talk about space, right? But not in what you're thinking. Space. I'm talking about when you're presenting your pictures. Now, this is something that maybe you haven't thought much about, but image presentation. You can take pictures all the time and you present them in one form or another. If you ever print them out, digital or otherwise, and hang them on your wall or even on websites. This is things that, this is kind of my philosophy on image presentation. When you show a picture, that picture should have some space of its own to live in. And this is where borders come in. I know the Photoshop and some of the photo editing have the ability to add in borders. And I wanted to kind of talk about the matting pictures or giving just space around pictures, because it helps give the picture an area for itself and for you to see it without being distracted by other things. And so let me grab my pictures here. and I wanted to kind of talk about that. So when I am showing pictures, generally speaking, I'll give a large area around the picture to give it a spot to, you know, it basically makes your eye focus on the image itself. And this is kind of consistent. It just helps the picture have its own area of attention. And oftentimes what I see is you run to the store and you have an 8x10 picture and you go buy an 8x10 frame, and the frame is not enough to give it any definition. So, you know, my suggestion is a lot of times you can get picture frames with matted area already for it, but that helps to give the picture some of its own space. One of the things that, if you're printing itself and you don't intend on framing it, is print onto paper so you have some border on the paper itself. If you use this as the end result, that way it still gives it some space. This, for like portfolios, this would be an image that would go into a portfolio, at least in terms for what I would use it for, because it's printed with a border kind of built in. And this is another one that's done the same way.
I thought that was my naked picture. I thought, oh my gosh, you're really putting that up there.
No, I'm not putting your picture up there. But when you print, you know, if you're printing out on a digital, from your digital camera onto paper, consider, you know, giving it some space around the outside edge. Don't print full frame, because it actually, if you look at it, it does draw your eye to the image itself. It does separate it from anything that it's sitting around, particularly on a wall. You know, you don't want to crowd your wall with, and this, I'm talking more of the artsy type pictures. I know that some people put family pictures and stuff. Even then, you may want to put a border around it. It'll help give the, you know, portrait or whatever its own area to live in, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Showcase it better.
Some of this photo editing software allows you to put in decorative borders. And my thought on that is, if that lends itself to the final image presentation, then do it. If it doesn't, you know, you get the little, you know, wood frame border you stick on there. It really is more of a distraction, at least in terms, you know, of the way I look at it. And I wanted to, Trouble, not right now. Trouble's trying to join in on the podcast. For instance, like this image here, the border on it is actually from the process of, I actually hand coat this paper with light sensitive material, and I put on a negative onto it and actually print this up. This border here lends itself to the picture a bit because that's part of the process that makes the picture. It frames it, but it kind of acts like the white border. It gives itself some area, so you can do that. But there is a bit of a difference when you look at the picture. It looks different with the borders on there. So if you're using Photoshop or one of the you know, photo editing software, consider, you know, what is the effect that border I'm putting on the picture have with the final presentation. So those are the things that you need to consider. But I like the white clean border. It's like a neutral area that gives it some space to live in for the picture, so that way when it's on the wall and you're looking at it, it looks very presentable. I have one of the pictures. This is one that I did for Dawn a while ago, but this is a framed picture, but I have it, you know, with the pretty decent size border on there, and this one sits on a wall all kind of by itself.
It's for my kitchen.
Yeah, but it's a kitchen one. Ooh, I'm getting reflection in the glass. But anyway, so just consider that when you're mounting or putting up pictures for, you know, your wall. Consider that. For the web, if you are doing picture presentation on the web, and you have control over how the layout is done, whether you're doing the web design yourself or you have someone web designing for you. Give that picture some space. Don't run the words up to the picture itself. It's like, then it looks like CNN. They cram as much as they can all onto the same page. If the intent is to show the picture, and even product photography, you want to give some space around your picture so that people can focus in on it and see what they're doing. So I'm all for having some room around the picture, because then it gives a focused attention to it. It's not the distraction of other elements on web pages, you know. So some areas, some things you don't have control over, you could pad your picture with, you know, a border in the image file itself. But if you have more control over it, like you're doing your own web page and stuff, consider that. Give it some space to live. It actually is, it looks cleaner, and it draws attention to the picture itself. So this is my, you know, my little thing on space and picture presentation, but gives you something to think about when it comes to the presentation side of things. You got a lot of pictures. You're always going to want to show them. There's a couple different ways, whether you're printing or on the web, but consider that when you're actually doing it, because I think it helps the final end result improve if you can give it a little area of its own to live in. So I'm going to flick it back to you, seeing that you're just knitting away on your socks. Huh? I'm mid-row. Oh my goodness, keep talking, keep talking.
I am objective.
So
where are we at?
I'm flicking it back to you, and we are in the arena.
I mentioned, okay, Kimberly has done the awareness and ribbons lace, awareness and ribbons and lace pattern, and that'd be a beautiful knit to do for Knitting Den and Knit Nerd Kathy. She just had a big birthday party. I can't wait to hear about it. She turned the big 3-0.
No? Yeah.
So we'll get to see her at Cognitive. Anyways, so they're having the Pinktober. So you can knit anything pink, but that'd be a really pretty pattern. It's just gorgeous. And she has her own podcast. Kimberly does, the Giving Podcast. I've already mentioned Sock Bunny. Click for Babies. Knitting on the Fly is doing Click for Babies again this year, which is another one I'm going to be doing some hats for. And those hats, baby hats, need to be done in purples, some shade of purple violet. At least 50% of it. She has all the information on her group. The Knitting in the Sun, which is Elizabeth Quinton on Ravelry, Amanda, she's doing a drive for hats for troops. Mm-hmm. I mentioned last week, because I just read off what she had given me, and one of the colors I had mentioned is black. I was contacted by Kagi TM. Her husband is in Afghanistan. He has done different tours over there, so she's done a huge drive last year that I knit some hats for. And black is not a color of the desert. So the hats are going over there for the troops. Black is not a color. Yeah. They wear the desert suits, desert camo colors, which is tan, brown, not even a...
It's very, very muted.
Dirt color.
Browns, real pale, like olive green. I mean, really pale.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not even the...
If you Google desert camo, then that'll give you an idea what kind of colors. Because the desert, it's very muted.
Because if they
soft.
see black, they're going to be shot at.
Yeah,
their boots are not black. Their guns, their M14s that are black, they even tape up with the camo of their clothes, So just be
the idea of camouflage is to blend in with your surroundings. Yeah. So here we got desert. You guys may not have desert, but if you think about that, those are the colors that they need, because they need to blend in with their environment. That's part of, and so even if they're not out in the active duty area, it's not a good idea to have the dark, because there's always a chance of enemy fire. So just to
I know she's going to be, Elizabeth is, I mean, Sam's using her Elizabeth Quinton name. She's also going to be sending them to Korea and other places. So you might kind of want to even Google or, you know, those colors, the darker camo green colors might be different in those areas. So just to be a little bit aware, you know, because I didn't even think of that when I was reading off the information last week. But I think the colors that I even send to Amanda when I do a couple hats are going to be the desert.
Desert, yeah, I know we have the big deployment out there right now. So.
Yeah, so that's where, you know, a lot of the guys are, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's...
Things to consider.
And it's starting to get cooler over there, so they're going to be needing this stuff. And things take like 3 weeks or so just for them to get a package. I think that's what Korea has figured out, the timing
and make sure you get it ahead of time.
Yeah, so
by the time you, if you wait till it's cold, by the time it gets to them, it's going to be warming up again.
So just something to think about. You know, you can contact Amanda through her group and, you know, see what she suggests too. I just know from helping out with Korea last year and, you know, her mentioning this, so.
Okay.
And so I wanted to mention our Cakewalk Harvest Cakewalk that's coming up in October, November. She's having another update with the sincerest color, and that is on the 18th. And I think it's at 9 Eastern. It's in the group. I forgot to check. But she is having another update, and she will be having some worsted too in this colorway. After that, I don't think she's going to be doing this color.
Well, I know the first 25 went really quick. So
and when you do get this, you need to pay attention to inside your ball band. So, yep, and the prize for that is the Cakewalk colorway, which is really cool. Which I might have to order another one of those. So I did want to mention that. And all the information on that is in the group too.
Yeah, there's a whole thread on that specifically. So.
And then she also has a information in her Cakewalk group too. So, and then because I had someone ask me if it was okay for them to cake up their yarn, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, which I'm anxious to get mine caked up, but I knew I'd be showing this one again because of the updates. So, because I'm going to be using these two together. And then I guess you'll be using this for something.
Yeah, I gotta start doing socks.
I know another question was if you use Cakewalk, like if you're doing a toy with the Knittables knit along, because I know Knittables is wanting to use Cakewalk to knit a toy, but she also needs to use black. You can add another dyer to it, but you know, you do have to have
some Cakewalk in there.
Yeah. So I did want to mention that too, because that's another question. Okay. So our hatchinet's going strong, and our fiber is art, and those both end the end of September. Yeah, that's coming up.
Got a couple more weeks on that. Got a bunch of new entries there on the fibers art.
Yeah.
If I had more time, I would actually show up. I have ideas, I just don't have time.
This is a horrible busy time of year. You know, it's like.
Yeah.
We do have our Wolf. You grabbing it or not?
Yeah, I'm trying. Trying to get.
Our Wolf Farm Videocast button is when you place an order at Wolf Farms. In the comments section, if you make a comment saying, "Hey, I'd like a button," or "Give me a button," or whatever,
you just put it in the comment at checkout. Just say, "Hey, you know, can you throw on one of the video podcast buttons for me?" So
you get it free.
You paid order. Put it in the comments, and we'll add it in and send it on out to you. But
thank you for. We've gotten a couple star ratings. So.
Oh yeah, on the iTunes.
Yep.
Thank you for those. We appreciate that.
If you are on iTunes, take a couple of minutes and, you know, leave comments or star ratings for your favorite podcast. It helps us pop up and easier in the search engine to find us all.
And it's a good way to say, we like what you're doing.
Way to go.
Keep up the good work. So, I think that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so too. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. And I'll be like, oh, darn it.
I thought there was something that you were going to mention.
I know the main thing was about the black yarn for that. That was one of the main things I wanted to yammer about me
Well,
yammer. Can you imagine that?
I guess we're at the end then.
Yep.
Okay,
So until next time,
let's get cracking.
and have